There you go. Alright, welcome in. Make sure you hit double tap that screen to like this live. Subscribe if you haven't already. On this live, all our lives are going to help us get to our watch hour goals. So the longer you stay on, and if you watch it, the recorded version after, it really helps us get the watch hours so we can start our our club, our paid member club, in which will generate revenue, and that will go into the farm. I will not spend the money until I am able to get a loan for a farm. Obviously it's gonna be a while, but till I, be able to get a farm, since, I gotta save up a lot of money and all that. But I'm working on it. Sorry about the noise, just eating a little snack. Let me do a bowl. Step pull. There we go. Alright guys, welcome in. Hey, welcome in. Double tap that screen to like this live. Share it out with your friends and family. Let me know. Will you subscribe and help us get our 3K watch hours? Because we got 500 subscribers. And we need 3,000 watch hours, though, to be able to get, like, the super chat, the member club. My favorite plant in my garden. I don't know. I mean, that's a hard one. I got lots of plants here. I mean, it might be this one over here, the windmill palm. Since this one is cold hardy to 10 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm in New Jersey, so with a little protection in the winter, it can survive, and it did. I overwintered it this winter, which was kind of harsh. I think it went down to 0 degrees, might even gone into negatives, I'm not sure. I insulated with some leaves, cover over the top, and some burlap in there, and it survived. It took a bit to recover. There was some damage to the leaves and everything, but now in July, it's doing absolutely great. It put out several new leaves. Several. This is a new leaf, new leaf, new leaf, new leaf. And we got another one coming up here. It's kind of my favorite plant, since, it can, survive with some coverage and everything. But I do have a lot. Look at all those butterflies. Yeah, I mean, somewhat, since you do have to insulate it in the winter and everything. You got to put leaves and everything, and then you also got to put a cover on it, and you also got to monitor it to make sure if it drops, the temperature drops too low, you got to warm it up somehow, get a heater in there or something. But I did have a thermometer in there monitoring the temperature. I got asparagus here. The Montrea, yeah. I don't have one of those, but, I would like one. I have elephant ears, though. I mean, those are kind of like it. The leaves are similar shaped. But, I mean, Montrea, I think that's also called the Swiss cheese plant, right? Yeah, those are, similar shaped leaves and all that. Some canisons here. This is my apple tree. This is my tangy. Wait, no, this is Blushing Delight, Fruit Snacks apple, Cullimore apple. You know, it's like a skinny apple tree, so it doesn't get that big, like wide, and like doesn't get that tall either. I think it's like 8 feet total, 8 to 10 feet, which I mean, regular apple trees, I think they get like 20 feet or more, like that. This is my tangy green one. This, oh yes, this is my watermelon here. So excited for this, doing very good on this one here. I'm in the U.S., United States, New Jersey. Guys, welcome in. Double tap that screen to like this live. You know, comment. You know, plant questions or whatever you would like. Just keep it respectful, of course. And then here, this one's getting like softball size. Oh yeah. Hi. Welcome in. It's like softball size. You're in the UK, so you can't take any. I mean, you can grow some plants, right? You know, let me know. So, yeah. You know, comment below if you have a garden. Those, you know, who haven't commented yet. Yeah. Well, some plants are really hard to take care of. Some are easy to take care of, medium. You know, there's different levels of plants. Like a spider plant, that one's really easy to take care of. This is my stevia here. Which I got at a farmer's market there. This is, I'm not sure what kind of pepper that is, but I know I have a Cubelin pepper over here. Hold on. See, Cubelin. This one's starting to get a little red, so I gotta harvest that one soon. And this one looks, I said that's probably ready also. My basil is doing really good. And for basil, for tip is like when it starts to look like that, you know, and when it has flowers on it, you want to pinch those flowers off. You want to take those flowers off because if you leave those flowers on, the leaves will get skinnier and skinnier and it will like stop growing. But if you take off those flowers, you know, it will produce more lush leaves and everything. It's my lemon thyme here. This is pineapple mint. Let me know in the comments. Have you ever heard of pineapple mint? It's like, you know, it smells just like pineapple, but with like a hint of like mint in there. Like a hint of spearmint or something. This is my garlic chives, which are getting flowers on it. Well, flower buds. I also have some onion chives down in there. I got my raspberry bush. This is my trellis with my honeysuckle and grapevine. Look at that butterfly there. Not sure if you can see that, but yeah, which is kind of like broke and fell over because of all the foliage and probably the weight of the grapes also contributed that. So I have like a wire here holding it up. Look at these grapes. First year getting them. We're doing pretty good. I've had this vine for 3 years. Finally getting some. My peach tree not doing so great. 3rd year I've had it, and it's got like the peach tree leaf curl. So the fruit fell off again this year. It fruited last year, but it also fell off. And then the year before, I just got it in like May, so it didn't have any fruit yet, any flowers yet. This is my rice here. You know, let me know if you have any questions or if you want to see any specific plant that I like have a closer look. Some elephant ears there. I got some bamboo here, black bamboo that's in a pot to keep it from spreading. That butterfly come out here. See these little white butterflies. So cute and pretty. I love coming out here and seeing like these butterflies, bees. I mean, bees and butterflies and all those pollinators love catnip, especially when it flowers. Like when it flowers, like they love these little flowers. Great for a pollinator garden, but it is a little bit invasive. Because I'm pretty sure it is related to the mint family. Not sure exactly. I have to search it up, double check that. Pineapples I grew from a grocery store pineapple. Yeah, I do lots of tips and tricks and all that, so if you subscribe, you'll get that too. We are at 504 subscribers. So we met the requirement for the subscribers. I got my first grapes this year. Also, nice. Yeah. How long did you have your vine? Like, how long have you had it? I mean, this is my third year. So first year it struggled with like fungus, but I took care of that with copper fungicide. And second year it grew a lot of leaves and branches and all that. And then third year, it finally flowered and got my grapes. And did you harvest them yet, or are they still growing? Mine are still growing. And these have seeds in them. They're not seedless grapes, but that's okay. I'll be able to grow more grape plants. Look at these grapes. They're getting pretty big. Some I have covered, some I don't have covered. I mean, there's a lot, so I can cover them all. Some I just didn't feel the need to. My apricot, Chinese Mormon apricot, Italian plum, and my two apple trees are over there, tangy green, and then a blushing apple, fruit snacks kind, Colomar apple, redskin peach tree. Yeah, I got a lot of fruit trees, but still no fruit from the trees. This one I've had 3 years now, 3 growing seasons. I got it in May 2024, so technically like 2 years and some months, but I mean like three growing seasons, I should say. And those I got last year, so I guess 1 year and a couple months, or 2 growing seasons. Got in last August, or not even a year. That one I got 2 years ago. Yeah, same. I've bought, not same, but I got it close to when I got my peach tree. But that one's, I got it a little bit after. Really? So when did you planted them this year, the grapes, and you already got grapes, or? Yeah, I mean, so with mine, they grew grapes, and they've grown a lot too with the vines and everything. But yeah, last year they really took off. Like they grew a bunch of stems and vines and all that. And this year, they're producing grapes, but it's still putting out more vines, more tendrils. See more new leaves coming there and everything. This year is my dwarf Cavendish banana. It struggles, I guess, because in the greenhouse in the winter, but now it came back. It's doing very good. Put a bunch of new stalks there, so that's good. This year, my olive tree, it was in my room, my house, and it wasn't doing too good. The leaves are like a little like kind of pasty, a little bit. It had like kind of like spots, dirt on it, dust, I guess. But now it's doing really good. Green leaves, branching out a lot. It's doing good. My strawberry papaya tree, it's growing slowly but steady, which is good. Cinnamon tree, came back there, got new leaves there. It's kind of struggling, had to chop off the top there, but it's still alive, so that's a plus. My pomegranate, which this like died kind of like, I did a bad job transplanting it. I was too rough with breaking up the roots, but so it went bare for a while, lost all its leaves, but it worked on those roots. Only one little bunch, yeah. Is yours growing on like a trellis like mine, or do you have yours on like a fence or something? I mean, does it get enough sun? I think grapes I think they're like full sun, so that could be a problem, but or yours just could be taking their time, I guess. Yours might be a little slower growing. I mean, it probably depends on the grapes you have. These are green grapes. I'm not sure what kind. I'm not sure if they're Concord grapes or whatever. All I know is that they are green grapes, because I'm not sure what I did with the box. I may still have it, I may not. So, at least I know they're green grapes. But here, these are my elephant ears and pots. Those are doing really good. I also got some there and then some over there and all that. My raspberry bush. Let me show you over here. See this one here? This one's still growing, even though it's got a big tree there shading it. But I still get some sun. Okay, here. This is my blackberry bush here. And then this is my raspberry, fall gold raspberry. I kind of got a little destroyed in the heat wave, like half of it. But, it's still alive. It's good. Animal came over here and bit off this top of this maple tree that here I dug out of the ground and put in a pot. Maybe I was going to sell it or, plant it somewhere else. But no, it chopped off the top. But that actually happened before and it came back. So it looks like there's a little leaf bud there. So it might come back. So I put a cage over it this time, which I guess I should have done before. But it looks like it's gonna come back, because you see there's a little green, I'm not sure if you can see it, a little green bud there. So it might come back. We'll see. I mean, I've high hopes. I have pretty good hopes because I can see a little green bud on the side there. So we'll see. Some hostas here. Some lungworts. Compost. And that's these. I gotta empty that sitting water. You don't want that. That will, breeding grounds for mosquitoes. Already got a lot of mosquitoes back here. Let me know if you have any questions or how your garden is doing, if you have one. I'm always love to hear about other people's gardens. Guys, welcome in. Double tap that screen, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know if you have a garden in the comments. What are you growing in your garden? How is your garden doing? Mine's doing pretty good this year. I mean, some plants did suffer from the heat wave, but I cut that the dried stuff off, and they're coming back pretty good. Yeah, it was 101 here in New Jersey. I think in June, mid-June, was it? Yeah. This here, catnip bush. Gotta be careful. There's usually a lot of bees and butterflies and all that. Don't want to anger them. Got my sage here. So, right now we're at 30 watch hours. We need to get to 3,000 so we can get our super chats, so we can generate money for our farm, which I really, and I also just want to be able to make money off YouTube. It's always been a dream of mine. Okay. And let me know. Let me know in the comments, what are you growing in your garden? I grow fruits, vegetables, any cool plants you're growing this year, any new plants you're trying out. Let me know in those comments. Here's my ruby, which it just flowered here. Sorry about that, lost connection, but it flowered here. And here, so we'll see how those do. Hopefully those start turning into guavas there. See, it flowered a couple days ago, 2 days ago maybe. See, Ruby Supreme guava, so hopefully it'll get nice and plump and start turning into some guavas there. And then here are some more buds coming up. Has lots of buds. It flowered once before. No fruit. It just fell off. But hopefully we'll get some fruit soon. Put that one there. See, that one flowered 2 days ago or 3 days ago. I don't know, a few days ago. So hopefully that one will start getting nice and big. My coconut tree here. As much sunlight as possible so they can establish themselves. I feel like, but it takes a while for it to start splitting its leaves. I feel like I'm pretty much all palm trees do like thing, but I think coconut tree does it for the longest. I'm not sure exactly. Check. It's my dragon tree here. It started sending below there. We'll see maybe if I like separate that somehow. I don't know, it seems pretty hard since it's pretty close to that trunk of the dragon tree there. It's my spindle palm. I love like the orange branches there. Absolutely beautiful. This one, another frond coming up there, so hopefully that'll open up soon. It's been like that for a while, but I think it's been growing. It's been working on its roots, you know. My date palm, pygmy date palm. It's going pretty good, you know. It's getting, you know, nice and lush, you know, putting out some new leaves. I mean, this is like probably maybe one of my favorite palms, but with like the orange, like, you know, stems there, like the back of the frond. You know, it's kind of cool there. Measure my fig tree again. Let me know in the comments. What are you growing in your garden? Have you ever grown figs? Do you have a fig bush? Figs also grow in tree form. I mean, I feel like the most common is bush form, but they do have trees. Which, you know, I would kind of like one of those also, you know. But yeah, I got these. See, lots of figs there. Lots of figs. Lots of figs. And though it doesn't have that many leaves, it still has tons of figs. Like every branch, there's figs. Make sure you double tap that screen. Double tap that screen. Let me know. Have you ever grown figs? And did you know that the figs, they grow in bush form, which is the most common, and then they also grow in tree form, which is pretty cool. This one has lots of figs on it, since yeah. Hostas here, they got a little damage from the heat wave, but you know, they're starting to come back. They're starting to get better. Let me show you my elephant ears here. These are like the biggest ones. One of my biggest far, you know, they're pretty big. Yeah, like that. You'll make sure you go check out all my other videos, you know, and you know, watch the long form video is really important so we can get those watch hours, so we can get our super chats, our shop, and all that. And let me know in the chat, in the comments, what are you growing this year? Any new exciting plants? Hi, welcome in. Let me know if you have a garden in the comments. What are you growing in your garden? I grow fruits, vegetables. I got 5 fruit trees. A redskin peach tree, Italian plum, Chinese moran apricot, a tangy green apple tree, fruit snacks, Colomar apples, like a skinny apple tree, safe spacing, then a red blushing fruit snacks one, which is like just, safe spacing Colomar apple. Sorry about there. These grapes, I've been waiting a while for them. I thought they were going to be ready like a month ago, but they're going pretty slow. But I mean, it could be good because like there's a lot of bunches on them, so it's got to put that energy to all those bunches. Bunch here, bunch there, bunch there, a bunch of grapes there, bunch there, all over. So could be that's why. And make sure you guys, watch all my other lives, so we can get those watch hours for the super chat, which, will be generating money for a farm, our sustainable farm. I know it's be a while before we actually get the farm, but that money, all the money I make from YouTube is I'm going to save until I can buy a farm, or get a loan for a farm, which is absolutely my dream, and I'm not giving up on that dream. I want to start a sustainable farm with many organic options, because if you do all organic farm, it's pretty hard, since you gotta buy organic land and all that. But like sustainable farm with some organic, like you could do some in pots, or stuff, raised beds and stuff like that. Prickly pear cactus there, which is like, you don't see really any needles, like any thorns, but it's got like these hairy thorns, which are impossible to get out of your skin, which are kind of a pain, but yeah. These here are my spider plants. I'm actually selling some of them. I'm selling them on Depop. I will put the link for them on like the community page, and make sure you go check out the community page. You click on community on the channel. You can also post there on the community. You can ask gardening questions. You can post about your garden. Be a nice little like community of gardeners. Yes. Oh, that one's starting to grow into the ground there. Oh, that one's starting to also grow in the ground. Oh, wow. That one's starting to grow into the ground there. Yeah, I think this one needs a new pot, I would say. Yeah. Yeah, that one's getting pretty big, And if I want to sell these, and these I have to bring into the greenhouse in the winter, so we don't want it growing into the ground, because then I have to bring it in, and then it, shocks the plant and all that stuff. We don't want that. No. Just see, does that one have any roots? No, not coming out of the bottom anyway. This one, I don't know. It's my lemon tree here. It's got one there. That one's getting pretty big. This is my lemon tree. That's my lime tree. Sorry, I misspoke. Double tap that screen to like this live. Share it with your friends and family. Make sure you check out all my other lives. Watch them to full so that we can get our watch hours, so we can get the super chat, our paid club, so we can start raising money for our farm, so we can get the sustainable farm sooner. So, subscribe if you haven't already, like if you haven't already, and comment below. What are you growing in your garden? Or comment in the comments, Grapes 26. Grapes 26, because I want to see if you were paying attention. All right. Subscribe, like, share.